The craziest part is I was the live stream queen. And it's been so long. I forgot how to go live on Instagram. That's just okay. Hey y'all, what's up? How you doing? Happy Friday or whatever day you're watching this video. Um I I wanted to I'm actually recording a podcast episode, but I decided to live stream this on Instagram because like I said, it's just been way too long and being busy and in the streets, getting work done is not an excuse for me not to come over and talk with you guys. And not only that, I've been more active with my email list again, and it's been amazing. Like the blessing that you experience when you've spent years building businesses, building communities, and building really relationships with all types of people from all different walks of life. And I just want to say, like, if you responded to any of the emails I sent out this week, if you reach back out just to say, like, hey, Cena, what's up? I appreciate you reaching out, or if we had any conversation, thank you, because you really don't understand the magnitude of the impact of the conversations I've had with you guys this week. I appreciate it. I thank you. I thank y'all that have been here with me for years, over the years, and rant over. I just want to tell you I appreciate you and I love each and every one of y'all. I even re-brought somebody. I haven't hired anybody for my personal business in probably 3 years, like since I've been going through all of these personal things, in my life, and separating and basically becoming a single parent again. And like I hired again this week because of my email list. Anyway, thank you for being here. Mini rant over. This particular episode, or wherever you're watching this particular episode, I want to talk about a win, the biggest win. I feel like there were many of them, but the biggest win that came out of our Teen Mom Summer Camp was that one of our moms brought her baby to camp. And that moment was the catalyst for me to say, okay, I'm building something like monumental here. This is real life shit. And the reason I'm saying that is because um this is the thing that I wish was there when I was a teen mom. I wish there was a space where I could have bought my baby when I had, and the whole time I'll be honest, the whole time I've been a mom, as far as you know with my like being a young parent, for the majority of my parenting adult life, I have not had much support from the beginning. I have, a support system now in my family who are mostly who 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 are mostly not, they're not in the same state as me. But as a young teen mom, I did not have the support that I have now. I didn't have the community that I have now. So I would have given the universe to have a place where I could bring my child, whether it was school, whether it was the community college, a job interview, where I could bring my child and then engage in whatever the activity was there, because I was trying to make a better life for myself and my baby. I would have given anything to do that. And so for me now to be in the position where I experience creating the space and developing the experience where that young mom could bring her baby, like, come on, be for real. So I had to talk about it. I had to put it into an episode, and that's why I'm doing this live stream. So, or this podcast episode, depending on where you're watching this. So here we go. Welcome back to the Success Over Statistic podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Cena Jackson. Some of you just call me Cena. This, like I just mentioned, this particular episode is just going to be about one of the biggest wins I know for sure that we've had from our camp. And if you're new here, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, this summer I hosted a 6-week Teen Mom Summer Camp. It was in actually we had two sponsors. So one of our biggest sponsor was Mighty Writers. Shout out to Mighty Writers. And because they helped us fund this, we were able to put on this camp. We had over 15 kids sign up. Our youngest mom was 13 years old. And we had moms come out with us every single week to do different activities, to learn life skills, entrepreneurship skills, which is the biggest one. And I started to teach them introduction to financial well-being. I'm a certified financial coach as of Tuesday. I'm a certified financial coach. Um, I'm a loan administrator, so I help marginalized and underrepresented businesses, particularly women and businesses of us Black folks. I help us to gain access to um, finances and resources that we typically wouldn't be able to get at traditional banks. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. That's my job. So pulling those pulling that knowledge into this camp for these young moms was something that was fulfilling to me, and it's something I always wanted to do. And so we were able to do that this summer. But what I want to talk about is why sponsorship is about building financial futures and not charity. That's the primary goal for this conversation today. And I'm going to keep it kind of short. So I already shared with you the moment. But one thing I think I need to say is from the perspective of that mom, she, you could, I'm gonna back up because I want to say this from experience, but I also want to share her unique experience. She came to camp. She was ready. She was excited. We were in maybe like our fourth or fifth week. We were towards the end of camp, and she came to the camp and she was just like, "Hey, Missy, I have my baby with me." I said, "Okay, well, listen, we this is what was on the agenda today, and we might have been talking about, I don't even remember. It was budgets that week or some. We were doing a particular activity because we were getting ready. They had already created their first business like idea. My girls actually created products during the camp, and then we were going into marketing and how to sell because I wanted them to get their first sale before the camp was over, which we did have a girl accomplish that. So. So she said, "Hey, I'm bringing my baby to." I said, "Okay, well, we're gonna do A, B, C, D, and we're gonna get it done." So she came to camp. She had her 5-month old. He was so cute. Oh my God, he was so adorable. She had the baby with her, and then I started, teaching and coaching and doing what I needed to do my job, and it got to a point where she was getting ready to do an exercise. So I said, "Give me the baby." I said, "Give him to me," and then I took the baby and I was holding him, and he's this big. He's 5 months. I mean. like um it was just incredible. So when you sponsor programs like this, it's not charity. You're not giving to the less fortunate, or um you're not just spreading your resources or your wealth, and it's something that it's like a check mark or a check off a box, or something that you can mark off your your CSR, and then say like your company did your social responsibility for the year, and that's it. That's not what this is. What I want you to understand is that this is about, like I said, building financial futures. That young mom being able to bring her baby, her 5-month old, to camp was in your face example of you. Just because you're in you have this circumstance in your life, or because you've been dealt this particular hand in life, or because certain decisions were made, whether they were known or unknown to you, whether you were conscious about them or not. Because you got to remember, not all girls, and this is a stigma that I hate, and so I'm just going to put it out here, and if I'm rambling a little bit, listen, it's just going to have to be conversational. I got to give it how I give it. But these girls aren't always moms because they were fast, or because they were running the streets, or because they were, I don't even know what the correct, they weren't hoeing, right? So like that's not always why young girls become parents. Sometimes they were actually manipulated. A lot of times they were manipulated, or they ran into a narcissistic abuser who can't deal with grown women, so they go after younger women because they're easier to mold and manipulate and get into their mind. Some girls are victims of un I'm trying to say it correctly. Some girls were victims of sexual advances that they didn't consent to. You get what I'm saying, right? So there's different circumstances that led to how this girl got here, and I want you to remember that and stop going to the first thought that most people go to, which is, oh, she's a mom just because she must have been in the streets or because she was out with her ass in the street. That's not always the case, right? So anyway, going back to my point is, because this young girl is in this situation, that doesn't mean that she now should be banned from becoming financially literate or having the opportunity to enter into entrepreneurship. And that's what I taught these teen moms all summer long, was that yes, you are a teen mom, but guess what? You still could be an entrepreneur. You still can learn financial literacy. You still can have a business. I did it. I sold my first ebook on Amazon way back in 2014 and made over $10,000 from that first business that I launched, because that ebook that I wrote on the computer I had with the cracked screen turned into a coaching business. It turned into a consulting company. It turned into me being paid to go speak on stages and tell my story. And so that's what I taught these girls. And so I want you to understand that small support equals long-term impact. Small support equals long-term impact. And I want you to be very careful right now, very careful as an organization, as a nonprofit, as a company, which one of these youth programs you invest in and you fund in, because they're not all built the same. They're not all built the same. Then they don't all have the same um intention to create long-term impact. Okay? That's another conversation for another video, but I just want to say that. So let me break this down for a second. This is why sponsorship equals infrastructure. Sponsorship opens bank accounts. Our girls open bank accounts this summer. Another one of the big wins is that, and footage is coming out shortly. Now that I have my team coming back and we're starting to hire again, my team is working on putting together some footage to share with you guys. So I'll be sharing that like over the coming weeks, hopefully in the next week or two. But our moms, they opened bank accounts. Hey Tabitha. Our moms, our young leaders this summer, they had, and Tabitha's on here now. So one of my moms just jumped on the live stream. We funded them, so we gave them $100 each to put into their bank accounts to support their business. So they took those funds and bought resources or things they needed to get their business off the ground. One of our moms is here, so if she wants to share her business, the Royal Mirror, she can go ahead, put it right in the comments, and share, just so you can see that this is real impact, right? So sponsorship opens bank accounts. Sponsorship funds childcare. Yes, you supporting these programs that we're doing for these young leaders, for these moms who are the future. Their children will grow up and be the next generation that's going to contribute to society. So if we keep saying we want to see society change, if we keep saying we're not happy with the way things look in our country right now, well then why don't we do something to start funding these young moms and these moms who are birthing literally the next generation who's going to be in charge of the country we live in? So why don't we help them fund childcare? Why don't we help them with time to study, time to go to work? Why don't we fuel small business ideas? Why don't we help them understand the steps to wealth building? This isn't survival. This is wealth for the next generation. Okay? This is wealth for the next generation. So I just want to say this to my young moms. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions. Leadership is in you right now. It's in you right now. It can look like this. Just turn it on your phone, getting on social media or getting on whatever, and sharing your story, sharing your ideas. If you want to launch something, launch it. If you want to write a song, write the song. If you want to launch the t-shirt, design the t-shirt and go talk about it. Leadership is in you right now. If you want, some of my girls wanted to apply to, Ivy League schools. Go for it. Do that. It's in you right now. You don't have to wait. Actually, I'm encouraging you not to wait, because nothing is perfect. If I could turn my camera around and show you like what's going on in my right now in my life. I'm standing up and being a leader in this Teen Moms Matter organization that I created within my company, Hire Great Help. But I'm personally dealing with a battle right now with, you know, with in courts about something that I've been doing my job. I've been doing my job for the last 5 years, but I have somebody who was supposed to be close to me dragging me to court to say I haven't been doing it. So leadership doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. Sometimes it's going to be shit going on all around you. It's going to be storms constantly, but you have to show up to the plate and you have to do what you have to do. And that's what I want these young moms to learn and to know, that if you have dreams and you have things you're trying to accomplish, go for that shit. Don't wait for it. Don't wait till somebody hands you the perfect conditions. So people are going to try to keep you out of the front always. As a young mom, I had everybody told me no. Everybody. Everybody. There was no, if the way through was in the front door, I always had to find the window. I always had to find the back way. I always had to find the alley, because that was the only way to get in. But I was coming in regardless. You could tell me no, but I'm still going to get in. And that's the mindset I want y'all to have too. You could tell me no, but I'm still going to get it. Come hell or high water, I'm going to do what I got to do. And that's what I'm teaching these moms. So you don't have to wait for the perfect conditions. Do what you have to do and do it now. And I'm going to say this to my sponsors, and then I'm going to get off, because we're going into our rest day, and I want to wrap this up before then. Sponsors, this is what happens when you invest. We're inviting 2 new partners, and I'm going to say, let me not just say sponsors. If you're an organization, or if you know of an organization that wants to bring this program to your youth, if you have young women, if you have young leaders, if you have young mothers, that you want to bring this program to, reach out to me, because we're inviting 2 new partners this month to co-create futures with us. I'm planning on relaunching. So we did the summer camp successfully, and I'm planning to relaunch camp in the end of October, early November. And so that'll be like our fall workshops. The kids have gone back to school. They're successfully in school now. So now it's time to bring school for our young moms and give them resources to learn life skills, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, like I keep saying. So we need to bring this to them. So school's back in session. So let's start school up for our moms. If I'm inviting just two new partners this month to co-create. If you want to co-create futures with us, reach out to me. DM me, send me an email, get in touch, and then we can talk about how we can bring this to your organization or organization you may know. Okay, that's it. Anything you want to ask or share, just send me a DM. I don't really respond to DMs unless it's real business or it's an actual conversation. If it's foolishness, you're gonna get blocked. But reach out to me and let's talk. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. Thanks for spending your Friday evening with me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.